Okay. So, yeah. Uh, is that true? Are native apps dead? I cannot believe that. Here's what Andrew Zhou, Andrew Zhu, Zhuo. Native apps are dead. Get over it, bro. So, this article written on November 8th. Okay. There is a shift happening in the programming. I first noticed it is my Flutter application. I was originally planning to build a macOS version of my iOS app because Flutter supported it. And then Apple Silicon happened, and now Macs Macs can run iOS apps. Okay. He introduced it by saying, I want to talk to you about one type of app to run on these new Macs when we haven't told you about yet, and that is iPhone and iPad apps. Hooray! So bit of a weird way to introduce it, huh? Uh, they are like they're like surprises. So it runs iOS apps too. Great. That is great. So now this new Mac OS or Mac uh, computers support iOS, and you can run iOS app on the Mac OS. So you can build I don't know, whatever you like for iOS, and then ship it to the desktop version of Mac OS. That's now it's possible. So as he talking, so most people, myself including, just glossed over this feature, especially as they announced something called Catalyst. It's previous year, but running iOS apps is actually a really big deal. Okay, now iOS apps are not perfect. If you see some APIs that will crash, and developers have the option to opt out, but I didn't opt out, and I work surprisingly well. Here is Startum. What's Startum? My feed reader. Okay, iOS, Android, running on Mac, though the iOS version. So this we are seeing is the his I the feed reader, as he say, the feed reader he built for iOS and Android, and also running on the desktop version of the Mac OS app. It's good. Yeah, it's look like web app, but it's good. Okay, let's continue. And okay, it's just work. Now it's not perfect. There is a random blue lines on the top of the UI, what for whatever the reason, or should okay, for interrupting. But on the other hand, it's worked pretty well. We the text to speech works perfectly. I was surprised by this, considering Windows and web both butcher this text to speech voice, but it works surprisingly well. And now I don't have to make a Mac OS apps because iOS apps work on the Mac. Hooray! So now, at the time, I thought this was just the Apple thing, They can't do it because they make their own hardware. But then I realized that this isn't just an Apple thing. All around us, software is changing, and native apps are dead. A while ago, I read this article with a very interesting title called "Are Desktop Apps Dead?" So there has been word floating around town for the past few years. They say desktop applications are dead. They say blah blah blah. And this post is titled "Are Desktop Apps Dead?" which the author answers with no. Now, I originally disagreed with this post and blah blah blah. So great article written by Andrew Zhu. So my thoughts on this are desktop are up native apps are dead. Uh, the cross-platform app developments is getting better and better on the performing and UI rendering, also different with different desktop or developer experience going on there. So probably I will say that native apps should be dead, not dead actually. They will not be dead, okay, but should be dead in terms of cost for startups, especially. But for the big corps, they can produce native apps in order to support their highly needs. So they can build their natives. Okay. So yeah, this blogs in here. Thank you for listening and watching. Comment your thoughts on this comment box. Okay, don't subscribe.